There we go. Perfect. All the names are set up. And we should and okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Alright, hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Adventures into the End Times, a D&D 5e campaign. Hopefully my audio is actually working well. It should be. And today we're going to be having our host, Benny, as well as the rest of our players, Renegar, Gramish, who is myself, Jane, and Athol. I think it's Athol. Is that how you say it?
I think it's Atla.
Athol. Athol. Okay. And Athol. Athla?
Something like that.
Okay. But, yeah, so it's a very fun campaign that we're about to be starring in. Benny, if you'd like to take... Actually, let me do my intro real quick. Sorry, I forgot I had one for a second. Hello and welcome, dear patrons, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. I'm your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and today we shall be continuing the tale of Adventures into the End Times. Come on in, take a seat, let your imagination run free. Benny, if you'd like to tell us about the campaign for a second.
Sure. So our players started out in the port city of Marilus in the Empire of Infernus. They had run afoul of a criminal organization and had a great need to leave, but were fortunate enough to find passage as security aboard a pleasure barge. Ship was attacked. They heroically fought off the attack and have made their way to the port city of Goblin Watch. Now, there haven't been pirate attacks in this region in many, many years, so our party has gained a little bit of fame, and the Prince of Goblin Watch has assigned them a task, entrusted them with an important task. And one of his sort of functionaries is going to give to each of you just a copper medallion, which he's going to explain to you is a sign of royal favor. It's a sign that you're working for the city, and hospitalities and courtesies will be extended to you for that reason. You notice that the person who is giving it to you has the same medallion, but it's in silver. It's pinned to his shirt. I would like to, I would like to just go around and sort of quickly introduce our characters before I say anything else. We'll start with, I think last time we started with Brahmish, so this time we'll start with Renegar.
So, I'm Renegar. About 7 foot tall gnoll with brown to sandy to about sand colored fur, spots all over. My left arm has a sleeve of bone armor from the shoulder all the way to the tips of the fingers, and there's just red stains all the way through the mane that goes down the center of my back. And pretty much the entire time that we're in town currently, I'm well aware of how noticeable I am and who I'm on the run from, and I'm paranoid, just eyes darting and on alert the entire time.
All right. And next up we have Atla. Your mic is off.
Yes, I am playing the friendly goblin that is that is Athel, and they are a druid who has only recently come into the wider world and is very excited to see things, but doesn't have a great grasp of civilization yet, and is currently gnawing on the medallion just given to them.
It tastes coppery. Jane, you're up.
am playing a fiery, 3-foot tall, Fey Lost and Wanderer Ranger. She likes to stick with her good old giant buddy, either on his shoulder or right beside him as they adventure around. She just enjoys being out and about and learning new things, and yeah, currently with her medallion, she is getting it to be more on a visible spot attached to her, since she saw that it was attached to the person who gave it to us. And she's likely trying to help Gromish put his on without stabbing him.
Fair enough. And tell us about Gromish.
Gromish is a 6'6" orc. He is the Path of the Giant Barbarian, and so he also has 7 int. So he's a rather dumb character, and he's quite fun to be dumb. He's a naturally good-hearted person, and he legitimately wants to be a good person. He just has actually no idea what that entails, so he's just kind of following what other people do and kind of mimicking them, depending on the situations. And he's just kind of like having fun with his companions, and he doesn't really see dangers per se. He's always kind of been the guy that he's so big, so intimidating, and so strong that if something were to be a danger to him, he kind of just gets rid of it, sometimes by accident. So he's just kind of like fiddling with the insignia probably on his belt, since he doesn't actually have a shirt or most forms of clothing. He just has was essentially a waist, a belt slash I don't know what they're called.
Loincloth?
Loincloth, yeah, like belt, loincloth kind of thing. So he's probably trying to hook onto his belt, and he's like, "It's so shiny. We're good friends now."
And where you are in times long past, long before any of your lifetimes, almost faded into myth, there was an empire that ruled the entirety of the world as you know it. And the area you're in was subject to goblin raids. So this fortress was established to protect. And over time, and as the empire collapsed, the powers that be here started making mutual defense agreements and trade alliances and marriage alliances with the goblins. So now goblins come and go freely, and just about everybody who are longtime residents are like half or a quarter or even fully a goblin. And am I correct in understanding that you all wanted to pick up some items since you all had come into some gold recently?
Yep.
All right. So the attendant you're talking to gives you directions to go to the shop, and it's one of those situations where he tells you, okay, so you're going to go down the street 2 blocks, and then you make a left, and then it's another block, and then you make a right, and then you make another right, and then it's a left, and you can't miss it.
Gromish is staring so blankly at him, just like looking at his hands, just being like, 2, 1, 1, 1.
I nudge his shoulder. 2, 2.
Left,
One.
buddy, left. And he holds out his right hand.
I cross. I actually hold my left hand up. Left.
Yeah. Left.
I look at the attendant, start nodding with a big toothy grin.
So if you have any trouble, just ask for the market district, and you'll pretty much be there.
Okay. Thank you so much. And then Jane's going to look at her giant
Companions.
her giant friends, her buddies. It's like, it's okay, just follow me. Hopefully
Right.
you won't lose me, though.
Right, left, right. And he just starts kind of turning. Wall. No, door. Yeah. Ver friend is the Waldor.
I put a hand out onto his shoulder and start like giving the signal of following the rest of the group.
Right. Oh, it's not door. Gotcha.
Really, the only one big enough. I'm the only one big enough to do that. So.
We're just gonna follow Jane for a bit then.
Fair.
Mhm.
So there are a few things you're going to notice as you make your way out into the town. One of them is that there are a lot of restaurants here, and all of the food smells really good. Basically, the goblins, having lived in the desert, had to be able to cook anything. So when they migrated here, they brought all those culinary skills, but now they have access to the sea and food brought in from other places. So it's stuff you've never smelled or tasted or heard of is sort of available on every corner.
So the crowd that we're walking into when we leave the palace, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
is it just all a sea of goblins, or is it like the other free town? Is it like the other town we just came out of? That's kind of a mix.
So there are a lot of goblins here, but it is a city, so there's fairly reasonably straight streets and reasonably solid construction. You do notice that some of the buildings have damage to them, like earthquake damage. And I think Jane and Athel in particular are going to notice that some of the same graffiti they saw in Marilis that Grommish so nicely cleaned up is also present here.
Can I gather anything more about the graffiti, or is it just a common pattern?
So when you look at the graffiti, what you see, you don't need to make any checks or anything because it's plainly splashed onto a wall. It's a crude image of a dragon, and it says the dragon stirs.
That's not at all ominous.
Grommish is almost certainly going to notice them, and he's just going to like look at the wall and he's going to go, bucket time! Just don't like look at Jane.
I'm actually using this as an opportunity to try and like learn more common, like sounding out the words.
Grommish is going to look at Jane. Do you have a bucket? Bucket time.
I don't have a bucket, buddy. I'm sorry.
Dang it.
The other
I'm going to lick it.
Go ahead, sorry.
He's just to like be like, dang it. I like look at the wall and go, I'm gonna lick it. And he's just gonna start trying to lick it because he knows his tongue produces liquid. That's the only liquid he has around. It's poor bud.
Jane's gonna try to stop him.
I don't even
Bless
know
her.
what
She's
kind.
gonna try.
I guess roll persuasion. I don't know.
Can you persuade my very dumb boy not to clean the wall?
Grommish can roll against this if he wants to, or you can just choose to let it go. It's up to you.
Sure. Roll against a 14.
With the 14, I'm just say he's listened to her to this point. So with the 14, I'm gonna say he listens to her. He's like, oh, you don't lick clean. Okay, I need to find a bucket.
It's yucky. Yes.
You find a bucket.
You'd have to find a bucket.
All right, we'll find a bucket.
Though I don't know why the graffiti's here. It's the same graffiti we saw before.
That's a long thunder rumble. Sorry.
So when Jane's talking about that, I look over at her kind of confused, still sounding out the word graffiti, and like just very confused what that word means.
It's
It
colors,
means,
buddy.
It means like it means art, big guy. That's I think that's the translation. Basically, but wall art, that's not legal.
You clean the wall.
It It's wall art that shouldn't be here, but it is.
After explaining the concept, my character is going to promptly wander over to the nearest vendor and start looking at the shiny things.
All right, so the vendors who are here are mostly just selling food. So if you want to get a snack, you certainly can. They have different kinds of fish, different kinds of meat. There's no vegetable matter of any kind on this person's plate other than it's kind of like a street meat setup, and there's seasonings on the meat, but there's no like potatoes or corn or anything like that.
My character is going to continue their noble quest for bread.
You actually do, in fact, find somebody who's selling bread because of the recent drought and famine. It's a lot more expensive than it should be, but you do find someone who's selling honeyed cakes.
Ooh.
How much?
What's that?
How much for a honey cake?
1 silver.
All right. As my character has been looking for bread since they were in that last town, I'm going to hand them a gold piece.
Okay, so this person hands you 10 of these sort of like breakfast cake things.
Okay, so my character's just gonna walk back to the group carrying a stack of honey cakes taller than they are, just like, hey, I got bread.
You got food. That's a
Are you
weird
doing it with
food.
the intention of sharing, or are you just gonna make eye contact while eating but not give anybody any?
Oh, I'm gonna start handing it out very. I'm gonna try and balance the tower of bread awkwardly on one hand while giving it out with the other hand.
All right, you do that.
If there's
Gramish will, in his own way, politely refuse by just kind of walking past you to the vendors. It just goes, I need meat! Guy? Got, like, baked meat? I'm kind of hungry. It, pulls out, 2 gold and places it down. Shinies. Shinies for meat.
So this person is going to look at the 2 gold that you've just set in front of them, which is roughly as much as they would normally expect to make in a week, and they're going to go to where there's a rotisserie set up,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to cut off a whole boar's leg and bring that to you.
Yes. Do you have a bucket?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't. I sell food, not buckets.
Oh, okay. He's just not turned back and walk back to the group with his fucking head-sized boar leg. Just like, I found meat! Just start eating it.
Absently looking around while I'm gnawing at this loaf, I lean down and I tap Athel with my hand, maybe a little bit too hard. Maybe some of the honey buns fall out of his arms or something. But I lean down. I'm not even really looking at him. It's over the top of his head, and just trying to sound out the words to him. I be fear need, and I'm start motioning with my hands something to cover myself up with. What is word?
Cloak. Hood?
Oh.
Cloak or hood?
Hood, cloak. Be not see.
I think we're in the wrong district for that, buddy, considering that they seem to mostly have food here, but yeah, let's, this is probably a good idea, especially considering how much money we're spending.
So as you're moving along, what you're going to notice in this town is there are a lot of people who don't look like they're from here. They're humans, halflings, creatures like that, which you know to be mostly from the region to the west, the islands known as the Shattered Archipelago. And a couple of things that are going to be noticeable about them is they're wearing clothes that, a lot of them at least, are wearing clothes that were nice but have seen better days. And they have just kind of a tired, shell-shocked quality to them, and a lot of people seem to be just kind of leaning on walls, talking in small groups, or just sort of wandering aimlessly. And as you make your way through these streets, you're able to find the market district more easily than you would have expected. And the shop that the attendant described to you is a very unimposing, one-story, almost like a shack. Do you do anything before you enter, or are you interacting with anything along the way?
Gromma's just don't look around, still on his quest to either find a bucket or find someone that he thinks may sell him a bucket, which honestly may be anyone. Just
We're gonna
kind of
need
look
to home
around.
endless water, something for them.
So you do, in fact, see a human sitting on a bucket, just kind of staring off into the distance.
Bucket. Hello, bucket man. Is that your bucket?
So just going to look down on it, but I guess so. It was just sitting here on the street.
Can I have your bucket? I need to clean wall.
Sure. So he just kind of stands up and hands you the bucket.
Thank you. What is your name, bucket man?
My name is Tomas.
Ah. Kind of like bucket man better. Toe. I'm gonna call you Toe. You like buckets?
At this point, Tomas is just going to kind of look at the rest of the group and just kind of point at Grommash, just like, what's happening here?
I found bucket.
I'd walk right into the store.
Ethel, having no real concept as to the value of money, is just going to be like, oh, he's just very enthusiastic. Here for your service, and then just hand this person another gold coin.
All right. The person takes it and he thanks you, but everything in his demeanor he just has a really distant quality to it.
Thank you, bucket man.
I'm sorry, is everything all right? You just seem a little out of it.
You didn't hear what happened in the archipelago?
No?
Oh, well, pirates came from the west, and they raided ships and settlements all through. So I had to leave. My home burned. I was able to escape with my family, but I made it here. So I'm not quite exactly sure what we do next.
I'm just look at Othel and be like, pirate be bad boatmen. Yeah?
Yeah, we fought some of them.
We killed bad pirate boatmen.
Yeah, there are never pirates around here. But yeah, we killed some on the way here, though. It was quite unusual. They never come up here.
That was you? He's finally,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the first time he's perked up since you've seen him. That was you guys?
Yes,
I mean-
I threw pirates into pirates.
Yeah, I mean, I was just there healing people and trying to stop people from dying. But yeah, they kind of killed all the pirates. So
Well, good for you. I heard something about the pirates were they're mercenaries. They're going up north to join in. There's something going on between the big countries. I don't know. So yeah, but as they were on their way, they sort of raided and burned as they went, and I couldn't believe it. My family has had our estate for I don't know how many generations at this point, but a lot of our peasants joined with the pirates. They helped them storm the estate. So as I say, I was lucky to escape.
Grommash just don't kind of get down on one knee. I'm assuming he's a human, so he's like 4 or 5 feet tall. Probably 5.
Like 5.5, yeah.
Okay, 5.5. So he's like kind of crouched down a little bit. Maybe not quite to his knee, but he's don't crouch down a little bit. Kind of have a more face. He's like, losing family is hard. Except you didn't. Wait, you lose family? No. Family
my
good?
My family are safe, but we lost our home.
Losing home is hard. Yes, but you are alive. Glory to life. You found Bucket. Would you like Bucket back? Bucket makes people happy.
You seem to need it more than I do.
Oh, Bucket does make me happy. But you are alive.
At this
Live
point,
well.
Athel's just kind of... Yeah, at this point, Athel just doesn't know what to make of the whole Bucket fiasco, but is going to turn to Moss and say, well, I'm glad to hear that your family is all right. If you ever need healing that will not cost you anything, ask for Athel, and if I am nearby, I will attempt to aid you.
Grommish will stand to his full 6'6" height, look down and say, if you need bad guys broken, Grommish will help. Just tell me which one is bad guy.
Jane
Don't want her family.
Jane is going to give them a little... it's kind of like a little business card. She took like a bunch before she left her house in her family's little business. And she's going to hand it to the human. It's like, oh, I'm sure they're still standing. It's pretty hard to knock down that building. But if you need a place to stay, I have a family business. It's like a little innkeep bar library thing. Mom and Dad went crazy with it, of course. But you can stay there. I can guarantee you it's still standing, despite all things. Just say that Jane sent you and they'll set up a room for you.
So he's going to look at the card, and he's going to recognize the name of the village that it's in, and he's going to say, well, that wasn't in the archipelago, so hopefully everybody there is okay. For what it is worth, you all have the respect and gratitude of House Renal, and I wish all of you well.
You do well, sir. And he's just gonna start walking into the thing, holding his bucket happily. Found a bucket, now I need some water.
All right. So when you all make your way into the shop, it's fairly cluttered, but very well appointed. There's all sorts of essentially adventuring gear here, including weaponry, and but it's all of a very mundane variety. And when the shopkeep, who is a somewhat pudgy dwarf, looks at you, he's going to greet you very warmly. Welcome to my emporium. I'll be happy to find you. And his eyes are going to focus on, I think, Grommish. He'll see the emblem on your belt. And he'll say, oh, welcome. And he'll twirl his hands. And where the back wall is, it'll fade away. And there'll be additional items back there that are less mundane.
Whoa. I like your magic, man.
Thank you. We always aim to please. Now, Grommish and Jane, I think you guys had both had some items that you had wanted to buy, and you'd had the prices worked out, and you knew pretty specifically what you wanted. Is that correct?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So rather than
making notes.
No, it's okay. So rather than RPing the whole thing, I'm just going to say you all get essentially what you were looking for.
Sweet.
Now, Grommish was getting a sleeping dragon sword or something like that, as I recall.
Slumbering Dragon's Wrath weapon is the uncommon variation of the Dragon's Wrath weapons. Specifically the Great Axe variation.
Okay. So basically into the handle and even up the blade. So I'm picturing this is kind of like a Dane axe, like a big two-handed job.
Mm-hmm.
And is worked the image of a what color dragon did you want it to be?
Probably a red dragon. Kind of stands out with his green shade.
Okay. Is worked a red dragon. As you pick up the axe, the dragon will open one eye and look directly at you, and then the eye closes again and it's back to slumbering.
Whoa. My axe looked at me. He's my buddy now. Just puts on his back.
So the dwarf is going to kind of squint at you and say, Yes, it's supposed to do that. And then under his breath, he'll add probably. Now, Renigar, you were looking for a cloak.
Yeah, I did I'm kind of just like going through what's in front of me, looking for something that's just going to sort of hide me. And seeing as I entered the shop before everyone else, I've been able to like sort of go through and explain that to the shopkeep that I'm looking to hide.
Excellent. I have just the thing, and the dwarf is going to. He's got a few goblin attendants who are working in the shop. He's going to call to one of them. And he's going to say, "The invisible cloak, where is that?" And the attendant is going to walk over to a rack where there's what appears to be an empty coat hanger there. And he's going to reach up, and then whatever he's reaching for is not there. Like he runs his hand back and forth a few times. And the dwarf is going to say, "Where did you put the invisible cloak?" And the goblins are like, I don't know that. And Athel, since you speak Goblin fluently, you know that this person is not speaking Goblin or Common. They're just speaking gibberish. And after a moment of just like, the dwarf is going to say, okay, well, we have these other options. And he's going to show you the Cloak of Elvenkind, the Cloak of Goblinkind, and the Cloak of Protection, each having their own benefits and each costing 700 gold pieces.
I'll take that Cloak of Goblinkind. I think I have enough for that.
Yeah, I'll probably grab the Cloak of
Elvenkind?
Yeah, I think I'll grab the Cloak of Elvenkind.
So, Athel, I won't stop you, but the Cloak of Goblinkind's abilities are somewhat redundant to things you can already do as a goblin. Grants you advantage on stealth checks, and it also allows you to disengage or hide as a bonus action, which you can already do as a goblin. The other options were the Cloak of Elvenkind, which gives you advantage on stealth checks, and then any wisdom check made to find you has disadvantage. Or the Cloak of Protection gives you +1 to your AC and +1 to any spell saving throw.
I'll grab the Cloak of Protection instead then.
Okay. So again, he's asking 700 gold for that.
Yep.
All right. And is there anything else anybody is going to be looking for or wanting to inquire about while you're here?
I believe Jane had some.
Jane gave us a list of items,
Yeah.
and now I can't find it. Okay, so
if she finds the eagle whistle, she's going to test it out immediately. And she'll just find it's like, oh, this is so cool. It looks like a whistle. And she'll turn to Grommish. She's like, Grommish, watch. And she'll blow into the whistle and suddenly start floating and panics. So.
Little lady flies.
And then she'll fall.
Ooh. Little lady falls. Ouch.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So the dwarf is just kind of like digging in his ear, like, I'm glad that's working for you. Perhaps don't do that indoors.
This is like one of those loud survival whistles type levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it lets me fly around, I believe, once a day.
Yep.
As long as I stay whistling.
Has 3 uses.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So you guys have gotten your new equipment. Are you equipping your gear right this very instant, or are you going to wait on it?
Oh, I know I am.
Okay.
Grommish would have it on his back.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna do a quick inspection to make sure there's nothing wonky about the cloak, and then they're gonna put it on.
All right. So as far as you can tell, most of your items are okay. There's nothing cursed about them. There's nothing problematic with them. They are exactly as presented. I will say, Atla being an arcanist, you are going to notice that there's something a little bit off about Gromish's sword, but it's not the sword itself. It's more like something else acting on the sword.
Ethel's just gonna turn to Gromish and be like, something funny about that sword. Keep an eye on it.
The axe looked at me.
Sorry,
It
the
has
axe,
an
I'm sorry.
eye.
Oh, yes, the axe. I mean, you don't really need to keep an eye on it. There already is an eye there, so I guess just wait and see what happens.
It looked at me. I like it.
Fair enough. So what do you what would the party like to do next? Would you like to the prince of the city has arranged accommodations for you, so you can start heading back to an inn. You can walk around town a bit. It's kind of up to you what you want to do.
I wish to clean. Funny magic man. Do you have a water container?
Sure.
Do you mean potions?
No. Something to use on wall with bucket.
Sure. So he's going to just open up like a barrel at one corner of the shop, and he's going to be using a magical effect to essentially transfer water from the barrel into the bucket. So
Thank you, magic man.
That'll be 17 platinum.
This will be on the house. This has been a rather good day. You all have been lovely customers.
Thank you, magic man. I like your magicness. If I see you again, I will buy more magicness. I like the axe.
Yeah. On the way out, I put the hood up, I just visibly get more comfortable about where I am at that point.
All right. And as you make your way out, you have a distinct sense of fewer people noticing you. And I don't know if Renegar would be aware of this or not, but it's less about the cloak than it is about the fact that he's less obviously tense. Like the nervousness and anxiety was drawing more attention than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So are you making your way back to where you saw the graffiti?
That's where Gromish would be heading, yeah.
All right. Are we splitting the party, or is everybody trailing along with Gromish?
I'm good to trail along.
All right.
Yeah, I've done what I came to do. I've done what I needed for right now. So, what the hell? I'll probably help him out.
Okay. All right, and for context, what you all were assigned to do by the prince was to go north and observe this parley or battle or whatever is going to happen between the two empires. Your cover for that is that you'll be caravan guards for a caravan that's going north to the next city, but there's not a caravan leaving right this very instant, so it's going to be a couple of days that you'll be in town. As you're making your way back, you leave the more crowded market district and you're in a less crowded area, noticeably less crowded, and a halfling woman is going to come running up to you, and you can hear some shouts and sounds of a scuffle around the corner, and she's going to say, "My husband, they're mugging my husband. Can you help us?"
Gromish is immediately going to start moving towards them. I get to punch.
Right.
Wait for me! And Jane's gonna follow after him.
Yeah, I follow along too.
All right. Athel, your mic's off at the moment. Are you coming along, or are you hanging back? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm following along.
Okay. Is Gromish putting the bucket down, or is he still carrying that?
He probably would be carrying the bucket with him, yeah.
Okay. So as you round the corner, there appear to be some warehouses around. So there's a bunch of boxes stacked up and just some rubbish, basically, on either side of the street. And a little bit further down the street, you can see there's a small person on the ground, with 2 other people, and they're engaged in some kind of scuffle.
How far away are they again?
About 30 feet.
Grommish is going to turn to Athol and place the bucket down in front of him. Protect my bucket. And he's going to turn towards the scuffle and just yell out, "Move!" As he starts just walking towards them.
Athel's just going to give a resolute salute and then continue munching on their honey cake.
Looking at the scene, I can see the urgency of what we're here to do, and I run ahead of Grommish to try and charge in and break it up a little bit.
Okay. And what's Jane doing?
Jane is going to run up to Grommish. It's like, boost me up, buddy. Come on, boost me up. Hurry.
It's not what? Right onto her shoulder.
Right. A few things are going to happen at once. One of them is there's going to be a commotion behind you, directly behind Athel, and the boxes and crates and things that were piled up fall. They don't fall on you; they fall behind you. But the exit from the direction you came is now blocked by all this debris. The other thing that's going to happen is what you can see along the sides of the street and also ahead beyond where this person was getting mugged. It's going to change. I think Jane and Athel, both being arcanists, will recognize that there were illusion spells on this area. So where there was a bunch of rubbish, there's now several armed people. And where there was the street continuing on past where the mugging was happening, more like a cul-de-sac or a dead end, basically. So the woman had kind of run ahead of you to where the mugging was happening. She's going to turn and smile at you, and as she does, she's no longer a halfling, she's a kobold. The person who was getting mugged is going to get up and just dust himself off. He actually is a halfling as far as you could tell. But he's a halfling who's not injured and is armed. And with that, I would like for everybody to please roll initiative.
Will do. Grommish probably stops like halfway in his like heavy walk forward and just stands as the guy stands up and just stares at him, confused. He will have a 17 as his initiative.
Okay.
That is a solid 10.
Okay.
Nice.
I've got a solid 7.
Okay.
Jane got a natural 20, so she's at 24. She's ready for a fight.
Okay, so Grommish and Renegar are ready to go. Athel's just really enjoying this bread. Like, Athel's definitely going to help you, but needs to finish this mouthful of bread first. I'm going to say the enemy would have gotten a surprise round on you, but because Jane natural 20'd, I'm going to say, Jane, you actually will go first, and then enemies, and then we'll be into initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you like to do?
I would like to Hunter's Mark the kobold.
Okay.
And I'm going to aim for her first because she's the one that lied.
That is reasonable.
And Jane's going to ready her bow. And as she does that, she's going to say, "Okay, buddy, this is what happens if you lie." And then she'll shoot. She's telling Grommish this.
Reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So roll your attack.
That's a dirty 24 for attack.
Okay, that definitely hits.
That's 9 damage.
9 damage. Alright, so your arrow strikes. She is hurt but still up. Is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
That's it. Okay. So it's actually going to be the one that you shot that goes first. Gramish, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Will do. Let's see. That would be an 11.
Okay. You're not exactly sure why, but you find everything around you absolutely uproariously funny. You are overcome with a fit of laughter, and you fall prone.
Woo! Considering Jane is 6 feet off the ground, and he just fell to the floor,
concerned.
something happening to her, or is she able to jump off her?
Jane, make a dexterity saving throw.
That to say. That's a 13.
All right, 13, you don't fall prone. You manage to land on your feet. Now,
Buddy! Now's not the time for laughing! It's just boxes!
They're funny. She got hurt.
Just for that, I'm using you as a meat shield.
so one of the armed people is going to run up and make an attack on Gramish. Since you're prone, this person has advantage. And yeah, they've definitely rolled high enough to hit.
Oof.
You're going to take 8 points of damage.
Oof. And I am not raging, so that is a normal 8. Ouchies.
One of the halfling, the one who appeared to be getting mugged, is going to point to Renegar and cast a spell. Renegar, I need you to make a dexterity save.
So does this count as the advantage on dex saves for effects that I can see for my danger sense?
Yes, it would.
That is a 16.
16, yes. So magical lights start to appear around you, and you just instinctively jump away from it, and the lights just kind of vanish where they were. All right. Nonetheless, one of the bad guys is going to run up to you and miss with a sword attack. Jane, there's one coming at you as well. That's going to hit. They rolled a 19, so I'm pretty sure that, even without modifiers, beats your AC. That's going to be, yep. That's going to be 5 points of damage. And another one is going to make a run at Gramish. Miss, even though in your convulsions of laughter as you're writhing around on the ground, they just somehow managed to miss you and stab the ground. Now, Athel, one of them is going to walk up to you and just point a short sword at you and order you to surrender because you're a goblin standing at the back eating bread, so you're not exactly menacing. They don't necessarily feel an immediate need to go swinging at you.
I'm going to proceed to kick him in the shins.
All right, well, you can do that on your turn. All right, so we're going to start the party's initiative, and we'll start with Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Jane's going to keep aiming at the kobold.
All right, so you're aiming at the same one. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Yes. Dirty 22.
That hits again.
So I forgot to include Hunter's Mark last time, but now I have it. So that's going to be 12, 4, so 16 damage.
Ouch. All right, so she's definitely hurt. Grommish, I need you to make a wisdom save, please, since you took damage during the round
Will
of combat.
do. Come on, buddy. Nope, that's a 3 and not getting up.
Buddy.
Okay.
Stabbing is funny.
All right, so now it's your turn in the initiative, and all you'll be able to do on your turn is make another wisdom save, but you can do it if you wish to.
Okie dokie. That would be a 19.
Okay, 19, so it's not funny anymore. And you also notice that you're bleeding.
Funny
stabbed
is
you.
not funny
Brought you
no
back.
more. Ouchies.
Renegar, you're up.
How many of them are in front of me right now? Like,
So there's 4 in front, and then there's a couple on either side.
so I'm surrounded right now.
Pretty much.
I definitely fly into a rage, and the nearest one, I just start clawing the shit out of him.
All right, so go ahead and make whatever attack rolls you make.
And I'm gonna make these both reckless. That's I got an 18 on the dice for the first one.
Yeah, it's definitely a hit.
And then for the second one, I got an 8 on the dice.
All right, what does it add up to with your bonus?
13 adds up to 13.
Okay, so the first one hits, the second one doesn't.
And so that would be that's 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
And I've already used my bonus action.
So the person's definitely still up, but they took a nasty swipe. All right. So I believe Athel, you're going to be up.
Yep. So, okay. What I'm going to do with my bonus action is I'm going to fling a healing spirit at the person who was stabbed. So I don't know if they're there right now. I think someone had to leave for a second. But they'll heal for a D6 when they come back, and they'll also heal for a D6 when they end their turn in the healing spirit space, which is 5 feet.
Okay.
And after that, as I don't have my weapon equipped and I just did the bonus action, I am instead going to kick the guy in the shins, as previously mentioned.
All right, so go ahead and make an unarmed strike.
All right. So that is a 5.
No.
With modifiers.
Yeah, you just kind of kick dust at his general direction. You don't actually kick him. Grummish, you're now in the area of effect of Athel's healing spirit, so you're going to regain 5 health.
Sweet.
It's the enemy's turn. The kobold who had been casting is going to cast a healing spell on herself, and doesn't do a whole lot, but some of her wounds partially close, and she's kind of retreating behind the others at this point. She's taken significant damage. Renegar, the one that you took a swipe at, is attacking you, and even at advantage, that person misses. Another one is going to run up on you and swing. Does 14 hit your AC?
No,
Okay,
I have a 17.
hot rolls.
Just-
Brownish, one of the ones who is on you, is going to swing again, and you're still prone, and that is going to hit.
Ouchies.
Yeah, so that's going to be another 8 points of damage.
A healing spirit coming in clutch.
And Jane, one of them's going to swing on you for a lot. 7. That's going to
Yay.
be 10 damage on Jane. It was a
My
natural 20.
buddy. My buddy.
Do I only take 5 due to the healing? Or
Athel, would Jane be, since Jane's just adjacent to Gromish, would they be affected by the healing spirit?
Yeah, I can position it so that it would be. The healing only takes effect on the start of their turns, but yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, because I would be like right by Gromish, so.
I buy on.
Okay, that's fine. All right, and then Athel, the one that you kicked dust onto there, as it turns out, very nicely polished shoes, is going to stab you. Does 15 hit your AC? Your mic's off.
Sorry. Yes, that hits my AC. Wait,
Right.
with the cloak, it actually doesn't. We're good.
Hey.
Okay, so it just misses you. All right, so we're back to the party's initiative. So Jane, you're up.
I'm just gonna keep point and shoot at the. Well, I guess the tiefling. I mean, not tiefling. The kobold moved. Should still be able to reach it.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna keep my aim.
Okay, so you're going to take another shot at her, kind of maybe shoot between the legs of one of the taller folk around you. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Yeah, that's a 15.
15 just hits, so go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. That is 13.
Okay. So she screeches, shouts something in Draconic, and drops to one knee, but she's still up. Is there anything else you're going to be doing on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right, Gromish, you're up.
Gromish is going to use half of his movement speed, so 15 feet, to stand back up. Going to bonus action Rage in order to gain his lovely abilities. And there's one person, or two people around him, correct?
That's right.
Okay. He's going to pick the one that stabbed him the first time, whoever that may have been, and he's going to use his Slumbering Dragon's Wrath Great Axe directly towards them. Let's see if it hits. That's a 12. I'm going to assume that doesn't.
12 does not hit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's just fucking swinging that shit, and there's like wind coming off of it, as he is now 13 feet tall.
All right. So because you're still in the area of the healing spirit, you will regain another D6 of health. So roll it up and do your thing.
Okay.
Renegar, you're up.
The guy that I was swiping at the first time, I'm going after him again.
All right.
And I'm gonna keep after with the reckless. It seems to be paying off.
Fair enough.
That is 24 to hit on the first one.
Okay.
A 13 to hit on the second one.
It's okay. So the first one hits, the second one misses.
And then I'm gonna bonus action. I'm gonna bonus action bite at him too. So we'll do that one reckless also. That one's also a 24 to hit.
Okay, so that hits. 2 of the 3 hit.
Oh yeah.
So basically, you take a swipe, land, you take another swipe, the guy backs away, and then you manage to bite his head as he's backing away from you.
Yeah. And that's going to be, the first one's going to be, first one's going to be 10
Okay.
Slashing damage, and then this one's going to be a total of 3 piercing from the bite.
Okay. All right. And does that end your turn?
That's everything that I can do, yeah.
All right. Athel, you're up.
All right. So I'm going to cast Primal Savagery on myself, which doesn't break concentration, so it should be fine. And I gain very sharp, glowing green fingernails, and I'm just going to slash at the person in front of me's shins once more. And I make a spell attack, so that is 15.
15 just hits.
Okay. And then that is 9 damage. Acid.
Okay. All right, so you land a sharp claw attack in the meat of his thigh, and he screams and really wishes he had attacked you the first chance he had gotten to attack you. So the halfling is actually going to retreat and do a healing spell on the kobold, which does very little, actually. And she's also going to heal herself to more effect. She's still very hurt, though, from the arrows she took, even with all this healing magic getting pumped into her. And some of the ones who were engaged with you all who've been taking damage are kind of looking back at these magic users healing each other, like kind of, hey, what about us? Gramish, one of the ones near you, is going to swing, and that's going to hit.
Okay.
For 4 damage, and because you're raging, it's halved.
Okay.
Another one's going to swing, and that's also going to hit. And again, 4 damage halved.
Cool.
Jane, they're not going to attack you in the sense of making a swing. What they're going to try to do is grab you to try to stop you shooting. So this is going to be contested strength.
Okay, I mean, they can try. Very flat 10.
All right, so you are now grappled.
Yay. Okay.
And this person's going to just say to you, like, just stop fighting. We don't have to do this. And which is going to a very odd thing since they ambushed you in a street, but, whatever. Renegar,
Yeah.
someone's going to swing at you, and that is going to be a hit. If you all have like reactions that could increase your AC or something, let me know. But when somebody rolls, 18, 19 or something like that, I'm not going to ask because, that's going to be 8 points of damage, and it's halved because you're raging.
All right.
Another one's going to come up on you, Renegar, and same thing. They're going to miss. And Athel, the one whose thigh you just gashed, is going to swing, but his leg won't support him. He just kind of buckles as he swings, and he misses you badly.
Woo!
So we are back to Jane. Because you're grappled, if you try to make any kind of attack, you would do so at disadvantage. Or at least, any kind of weapon or melee attack, you would do so at disadvantage. With that in mind, what would you like to do?
I'm going to, when they say that to me, I'm going to bring up this, like, you guys were the ones that ambushed us. Clearly, you guys don't want peace. And I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to stab them.
Okay. So you can make
My
an
little
attack.
short sword.
Okay. So it'll be an attack roll at disadvantage.
That's going to be a 12.
Okay. 12 does not hit. So you try to stab, and they're able to sort of grapple your wrist and stop it from connecting. Gramish, you were up.
All right. Is the one who grabbed her the same one who stabbed me originally?
No, but since you're right next to each other, you are within reach of that person.
Okay. So he grabs her, and Gromich doesn't really like the idea of someone grabbing his friend. So he's just going to take his axe and he's going to say, "Let go of little mama," as he's going to slam down his axe into the person, or at least attempt to. That's going to be...
Since this person is tangled up with someone,
Mm-hmm.
you will have advantage on the attack because they can't efficiently get out of the way or defend themselves.
All right, will do. So that's going to be a 26 to hit.
Definitely hits.
All right. And damage is going to be a lovely 9 damage directly to him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That
Let
is
go,
nasty
little
damage.
mama.
Now, does that axe do any special magical effect or anything, or is that something you just have to activate and aren't choosing to right
The
now?
only magical thing it does is that critical hits turn to normal hits on me. That's just
Alright.
if I'm holding it.
Okay. Renegar, you're up.
Still surrounded, right?
Yeah, basically.
I'm gonna focus in on the one that I've hit the most. That's got to be bleeding by now.
Oh yeah.
I'm going all in on him. Reckless again.
Okay.
First one probably doesn't hit. That's an 11.
Nope.
16.
16 does hit.
And then on the bonus action, bite. That one's a 24.
That hits.
All right.
So basically, you make a swipe, he ducks under it, pops back up, and then you connect with both of your following attacks.
Oh, yeah. And so the claw is going to be 7 slashing.
Okay.
And I'm going to bite down for 7 piercing. I'm just going to... I'm trying to tear a chunk out of his shoulder.
All right. You tear a chunk out of his shoulder, and he drops to the ground. He is done. And Athel, you're up.
All right, I am still not in a great place to draw my weapon, so I'm going to cast another Primal Savagery and chain an attack directly into this guy again with a natural 20.
Okay.
So, one moment. 8 and 8. Okay, so that's going to be 16 acid damage. Plus 2, because it's technically a melee attack, so... Woo!
Ouch.
So, 18.
Would I have seen him pull off that natural 20?
I mean, if you didn't see it, you've definitely heard the after effect of it.
Ow.
Yeah. So Athel, again, that very horrible thing happens, and this person now drops to the ground. You're not entirely sure if they're bleeding out or not because the acid burns somewhat caught. I'm not going to get into too graphic of a description. They're done. For them, this fight is over. All right. So,
And
what's up?
so with
yeah,
natural
you-
20, with his natural 20, just emboldened by what's going on around me, the nearest one,
Yep.
I'm going to take and I'm going to take a swing at the nearest one to me, to my right.
Yeah, go for it.
With a 16.
16 does hit.
That sinks in for a total of 10 slashing damage,
All right.
breaking right down his chest on him.
Okay. All right. So back to them. The guy who Grommish struck, who was grappling Jane, is going to kind of realize the situation he's in, and he's going to let go. And he's going to attempt to retreat. He's going to disengage from Grommish, but he can't disengage from multiple people. So, Jane, you specified you were holding a short sword. You do get an opportunity attack.
Okay. I'm actually just going to let him go.
Okay. So he backs away.
He really didn't seem like he actually wanted to fight and tried to stop it. Don't know why, but yeah.
Okay. The kobold is going to charge up and throw a spell at you, Jane. And a guiding bolt is going to fly past your ear but not make contact. So aren't you lucky?
I am a fae, so.
And the halfling who was there healing the kobold is going to say, "Here, let me help you." And Jane, I need you to make a dexterity save.
$16.
All right, so 16, much as what happened with Renegar, you notice magical lights start to form around you, and you just sort of instinctively jump out of the way of it, and a fairy fire spell has just missed you. All right, so Grommish, somebody's going to take a swing at you, and that does hit for 5 damage halved. Other one takes a swing at you. 18 hit your AC?
18 is my AC.
Okay. For 4 damage halved.
Okay. Just take 5 from that.
Renegar, the one you just gashed, is going to hit back. It's going to try to hit back and miss pretty badly. And that's going to bring us back to Jane.
Jane's gonna keep just aiming at the kobold audacity that they have. And it's like, okay, clearly you don't learn your lesson. And you're not surrendering. So, we'll keep dancing.
All right, so make your attack roll.
A dirty 21.
Definitely hits.
Nine piercing damage.
All right. So she staggers, and the halfling next to her just kind of audibly curses. Grommish, you're up.
All right. Brahmish is going to kind of look at the situation. And he is going to... he's going to grab his axe, and he's going to put it onto his back. And at his full 13-foot height, he's going to use Thaumaturgy, because he's, as the giant, the Pathway of the Giant. He's going to use Thaumaturgy to make his voice boom up to 3 times as loud, for up to 1 minute. But he's going to basically shout out at, like, full volume to capture attention of everyone. Why fight? Put down weapon! Or fist! I'm assuming that's intimidation?
Sounds like intimidation contested. Yep, so go ahead and roll your intimidation.
Will do. That is a 23.
All right, so the two closest to you, one of them is going to just drop his weapon and back away. You can get an unarmed strike opportunity attack on this if you want it.
He's backing up, so Gromish won't.
Okay. And Jane, you're right next to him, so are you letting that person go as well?
Is it the kobold?
No.
Then yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Renegar, same thing. The person who's confronting you drops his weapon and starts to back away. And similarly, if you want to take an opportunity attack at this person as they're backing off, you can.
I think I will, but instead of taking a swing at him, I'm going to pounce at him. I want to bring him to ground.
All right, so what we're going to do for that then is it'll be a contested athletics check.
Okay. And I get advantage because I am raging. It's a 17 on the dice with a +5.
All right, yeah, so you easily pin this person to the ground. So this guy's now disarmed, frightened, and has a flinned gnoll, 7-foot tall gnoll on top of him. So he's having a great day. That's actually going to bring us to your turn, Renegar.
And now that I've got him to ground, I'm just mauling him. Every last strike is coming.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
Is it possible for Gromish to, possibly hit Renegar off of the dude? Is that possible?
Not really, because Jane is kind of between you, and it would be and as far as I know, your character class doesn't give you a reaction like that.
Does not, no. Okay.
All right, so this person is prone, so Renegar, you are going to be attacking with advantage.
Nice.
Poor buddy.
I got 19 on the first one.
Yep.
That's 18. 18 on the second one.
Also, yep.
And, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm going for his throat with the bite. And that is a solid 15 with my bite.
All right, so that just hits. So basically, he's flailing and convulsing and trying to dodge what's happening to him, but you still manage to land. So roll up the damage for all three.
All right, so the claws are both. So that's 10 and 7, so 17 on the from both of my claws, and 4 piercing from the from my bite.
Okay, so basically, Jane and Gromish are like yelling at you to stop, and it's the kind of thing where, as soon as you finish doing what you're doing, you do look up and you're just like eating a human heart like it's an apple. Like, what's up? What do you want me to do?
Gromish is gonna pick you up. Just be like, oh, no. Wait, just don't look at Jane as he's holding him. Like, bad guy.
Bad guy, but bad boy.
No. But did he eat bad guy?
He did eat bad guy.
Ah, okay. It's just no place.
Hey, my face is just stained with it.
All right, Athel, you're at the very back of this delightful scene. What would you like to do on your turn?
Is the person who I severely mauled with acid still alive?
They are not.
Okay. Lovely. Yeah, so with my character kind of not having anyone who seems are at this point the victim of war crimes to heal, I will instead move my healing spirit to try and cover as many of us as possible. So,
Okay.
And we're functionally out of combat, right? So,
No,
or
we're
do we
not.
have?
No,
Oh,
we're
the
still in
kobold.
combat. Kobold and Halfling are still up. There's still one person engaged with Gromish. So there's essentially
Okay.
the enemy's still up.
Now that I can draw my weapons without opportunity attacks or anything, I'm going to take out my short bow, and I'm going to fire it at the kobold.
Okay. Roll your attack.
And I'm going to get a natural 1.
Okay. Ramesh?
Mm-hmm.
What's the damage modifier for your bow there, Athel, sorry.
+2.
All right, Gramish, you're going to take 5 piercing damage from an arrow to the back.
Sweet.
Because it's not magical.
Oh no.
Athel's going to wince and be like, I'm sorry!
Guys just don't like look at Athel and be like, ow, toothpick.
All right, so of the remaining surviving of your enemies, the two who dropped their, it was 2 who had backed away. They both managed to open a door and they're running while the kobold and the halfling are shouting at them not to. The halfling is going to, having seen what Renegar just did to one of his friends, halfling is going to cast a spell at Renegar, and a guiding bolt is going to somehow badly miss this giant 7-foot-tall target. The kobold is going to take another shot at Jane and also badly miss. The dice are in your all's favor tonight. And then finally, the one who's still engaged with Grommish is going to take a swing. And 17 hit your AC?
18. AC is 18.
Okay.
No.
So he swings and misses. Back to Jane.
Yeah, Jane has a vendetta, so she's just gonna keep aiming for the kobold.
Okay. Take your shot.
She is rolling.
15.
15 just hits.
That is 14 piercing.
Damn. Describe how you end this kobold.
Jane is going to look at Gromish again. It's like, okay, buddy. These were bad guys. And they were liars. And they tricked us. This
I
is
don't
what
like
we do
liars.
to liars that trick us. And she's going to aim true to the kobold and say, time to go to sleep. And aim right for her heart.
Okay. All right, so you do that. And I guess it's Gromish's turn now?
Yeah, so Grommish just don't like look at Jane as she does that. He doesn't look at the kobold as it falls over and he goes, ah, I know. And he just don't look at the dude half his size who's attempting to stab him and failing. And he's don't grab him by the throat and try to pick him up.
Thief in one hand, just pissed off.
Contested strength.
Okay, and then I get advantage on that because I have rage. That would be a 15.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
you've got this guy by the throat, you got him off the ground.
It's just someone be like, you are bad man. And he's still use his bonus action, just whap him in the face.
All right, roll
Do
your
I get to
attack.
do I get to bite at this guy while I'm being used as the punching glove?
I don't think he's holding you anymore.
No, he dropped you. He dropped you. Yeah.
Go ahead and make
Says-
an unarmed. Go ahead and make an unarmed strike with advantage since you've got him tangled up like that.
Okie dokie. Let's see, unarmed. 1d20 plus 5. That would be 8.
Was that with advantage?
Oh, sorry, with advantage. I forgot about advantage. That would be a 22 to hit.
Definitely hits.
All right. It's just 5 damage to the face. It's like, bad man, bad.
All right. Renegar, you're up.
I see the mage, and flashbacks from the pit start coming to me, and I charge at him.
Okay.
Full speed, and I want to bring him to ground too.
Okay. So, again, that's going to be a contested strength. Or I guess contested athletics.
I got a 19.
So you succeed. This person's now prone. That was your action, and you still have your bonus action if you want to use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite down on him.
Okay. So go ahead and make attack with advantage.
That is a 18.
Definitely hits. Roll your damage.
Come on. 4 piercing.
4 piercing. All right. And then Athel, you're up.
All right. I'm going to try and fire another arrow at whichever baddie is still up.
Okay, so there's the one Gromish is holding, and there's the halfling who you probably don't want to try to hit because he's pinned under your friend.
Right.
If
Okay.
you're shooting at the one Gromish is holding, I'm going to say that's advantage because the guy can't move or do anything to defend himself.
That one it is.
Was that with advantage?
I haven't said the number yet.
Okay.
The one was 18, so I'm going to take that one.
Okay. So yeah, 18 hits.
That is 5 damage.
Okay. All right.
See, I'm not terrible with this thing.
Shunk.
Renegar, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Can I see this effect?
Yes.
Alright, so I get advantage on that. Natural 20.
What's that?
Natural 20.
All right. So this halfling casts Thunder Wave, and you see it coming, and you just spring up, like push yourself straight, like a jumping push-up, basically. So instead of injuring you, it just kind of lifts you up and drops you back down on him. The one who is engaged with Gromish is... Oh, yeah, he can't... he's going to try to break free, so contested athletic.
Okie dokie. And then I get advantage because I'm raging?
Yep.
Okay. That would be a 23.
All right, so you're still holding him. And
Squirm, you little man.
And since we're running out of bad guys, we're back to the party. What is Jane going to be doing?
I'm going to move my hunter's mark onto the one on Gromish and shoot.
Okay.
Fucking. What? Pincushion. He's pincushion.
So go ahead and shoot with advantage because, again, he can't... It's not like he can duck or anything.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a dirty 25.
Definitely hits.
$15 damage piercing.
Okay. Gromish, you can feel this person starting to sag in your grip. Like he's still alive, but he's not. Strength is leaving him. Speaking of which, Gromish, it's your turn.
You're just gonna like hold him and kind of like grab one of the arrows and just kind of pull him out. He's like, all right, little man, you tell me why fight. Like holding the fucking arrow like a tiny stick.
So he's going to look at the arrow and he's going to look at you and he's going to say, the dragon stirs.
That's a bad answer. He's gonna look at Ranagar, being pretty much on top of the person, and he's going to use his bonus action aggressive because he's an orc. And he's going to use up to my as a bonus action. I can move up to my movement speed towards a hostile creature I can see or hear. And I'm just going to basically like run up to the guy, and look at Ranagar. And I'm like, move. Do you hear him or?
What are you doing with the person you're holding while you're doing
I'm
this?
just holding him the entire time as I'm like fucking running toward this guy, like just holding him.
Okay.
Just this ragdoll.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just telling Rhaegar, move. Do you listen or?
I don't. I'm not even. I'm not 100% mentally in this space right now.
Alright, cool. Yeah, Rhaegar has no idea what to do when you don't move, so he's just gonna like stand there and stare at you as he increases his grip on the guy, and that'll be his turn.
Did you take
Move.
an action that turn?
No, I did not.
Well, do you want to try to finish the guy with just a...
No, he's just gonna hold him.
Just
If
gonna
the
hold
guy
him?
dies, the guy dies. But yeah, he's just holding him at the moment.
That is horrible. I hope you know that.
You're making him watch what's about to happen.
I was gonna slam him into the guy under you, but he didn't answer Gramish's question. Gramish doesn't know what to do when you don't answer his question, so he's just holding him in case he answers. Gramish doesn't know what to do. He's not smart enough for this train of thought.
All right, so Renegar, what happens next? Because it's your turn.
While I'm just perched over the top of this this poor halfling here. I'm seeing a different face in front of me, just screaming the entire time as I'm taking all 3 attacks on him.
All right, all 3 are advantage because he's still prone.
I feel slightly bad for this halfling.
So 18,
Yep,
18 again,
yep.
and then the last one, it was a 19 on the dice.
All right. So just describe how you end this. I mean, don't get too terribly graphic about it, but describe how you end this halfling.
I'm just mauling him, screaming the entire time. No, more! Just over and over and over until he's very clearly dead.
Okay.
And in the silence, as I realize what I've finally accomplished for the first time in my life, you hear just this hyena cackle echoing through the alley.
Like your life's goal was to take out a caster, and now you've done it.
One of them.
Yeah.
Gramish
Right.
will look as you've done that, and he's gonna look back at the guy, look back at him, and be like, "I was gonna kill you. That looks kind of worse. Why fight?"
Mara,
Chicka,
this
chicka.
is going to be the last turn that we're in initiative. So what are you doing, Athel?
I'm just going to keep redirecting my healing and trying to maximize its effect before it ends, but I feel like the situation is well under my companion's control by this point.
All right, so I think everybody gets a D6 of healing out of the healing spirit.
Sweet.
Yeah, right back up to full.
All right, so now it's this is going to be the last action. while you're holding this guy, Gramish, he pulls out a dagger and plunges it into his own chest.
Aw. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. You just don't look at Rhaegar. Well, fur buddy. What do when question not answered? Fur. Just don't like grab fur. Rhaegar's like back of the head, like fur buddy. Are you okay? Fur buddy, answer. Oh right, duh. He's like holding both of them now. He's just like, it puts the other guy down gently. He's like, right, under the armpit. Yeah. Fur buddy. He's like shaking.
The shaking brings me back to reality, 100%. And all I can muster in the broken pieces of common that I know is I just cock my head at him and I just confused. Huh?
What happens when question not answered?
I just shrugged my shoulders.
Okay.
Kill?
He's a kill. Oh. Alright, so I'll put you down, pick up the body again. He's dead. Right, he like grabs his axe, just plunges into the guy. He's like, alright, he's dead. I think.
Definitely dead now.
Now what? Question not answered.
I actually make my way over towards Athel.
Oh.
And I just flop down, and I just flop down, sitting on my haunches.
Sorry about the arrow.
Oh, it's okay, little man. You smart. What do you do when question not answered? He said kill. He dead already, so yeah. He just presents the body to me with the axe just wedged into its chest. So, what do?
Well, not much. There's not much I can do for him. In the future, perhaps try to scare him into answering, but we got some good information out of him, though. He has the same motto as all that graffiti we've been seeing around. Probably has something to do.
Yeah. Alright, well, just rips the axe out, puts it back on his back, and just yeets the guy over his shoulder as he goes back to his 6'6" frame. Oh, it was fun. Oh, right, and just rips the arrow out and hands it back to you. You lost this.
So Jade, based on where everyone was positioned, I'm picturing this as Gramish has his back to you and inadvertently throws this corpse at you. You don't have to make a dex save or anything. You're able to get out of the way. This is just flavor.
See funny.
Jane is going to. What the fuck, buddy? Watch out!
Oh, right. Sorry, little mama.
Can I Huh? Actually, never mind. It's like, I will stab you with this blade, and she like waves it in the air at him, trying to be intimidating. It's like, I will stab you with this if that lands on me.
Ah. Okay. And he's just gonna look back at Mara and be like, Do you also not like bodies? Flying, landing, skating?
I'm not a fan. I try to avoid creating bodies in the first place. It's kind of my profession, really.
I tried with the yelling, but
Yeah, just ignore the guy who gave like severe acid burns to. Just not sure which war crimes those count as, but I think it's at least a few of them.
My yelling did work? Didn't work. Did you save my bucket?
The bucket has in fact remained unharmed through this whole instance. At no point did anybody target it.
He's just all pick his bucket.
Protected your bucket loyally.
You have done well, little goblin magic man. My bucket.
Thank you.
I now need
I
a
grabbed the
wall.
bucket, drinking the water in it.
So some of you all are going to notice in the sort of aftermath of everything is that it's about a 50-50 split of who these people who attacked you were. As mentioned, about half of them were people who looked like they were from the archipelago, and the other half are scaled folk who their armor and equipment was very much like those of the pirates you fought.
Ramesh will walk over to one of the scaled folk as he just kind of like lifts him up a little bit. Now about the same size. He's like, We took off the head of his friend. Yeah. I thought, brother. Sorry, buddy. Thunk. Just lets him fall back to the floor.
It's so sleepy.
He's
Jane
sleeping
wants to loot
too.
the bodies.
Jane wants to loot the
Potions.
bodies?
Yes.
Okay. So most of them don't have much in the way of interesting weaponry on them. It's just fairly basic stuff, short swords. They have not a lot of gold. They have 4 gold each, and there were 7 of them, so that adds up to 28 gold for you all. So actually, yeah, it's 7 gold each if you're dividing it.
Yep. And I'm gonna try to retrieve some of my arrows that didn't maybe break. Maybe.
You're able to retrieve your arrows, and I don't really keep track of ammunition. If you really want to, you can, but it's not something I follow.
Okay. I just
so
wasn't sure.
Yeah. So you're able to retrieve your arrows, and you do find that the halfling had a ring, and the kobold, when she was casting magic missile at you, it was from a wand. The wand holds 4 charges, and it restores 1d4 charges per day. Or not magic missile, I'm sorry.
Interesting.
The guiding bolt is the spell, not magic missile. So, you're able to make your way back out of this alley, assuming you want to. What do you all want to do next?
Ramesh will look at the group and go, is this important? The dragon thing.
Apple's just gonna be like, I feel like it's important, but I also feel like we should start heading towards what that guy is paying us for with these shiny medallions.
Right. He did give us shiny. He good friend now. We should listen. Yeah. What? He's don't look at little mama. What do you say?
He said that we need to. Yeah. He said that we need to be security guards for our caravan tomorrow, though. So
right.
we need to find a place to stay to wash up, especially with our fur buddy.
Magic smart goblin man. You're smart. Where do we sleep?
There's probably a tavern or something we can find. I mean, I've just kind of been sleeping under trees for a while, but taverns are cool too.
I'll go ask as he starts walking out of the alley.
Jane will follow.
All right, so
She's like, hold on, buddy, boost me up first.
What?
all right, so it had been specified the prince made accommodations for you at a tavern, and when you get there, you find that the place is not quite as nice as you might have hoped for, given who made the accommodations for you. It wasn't the prince personally, but it was the court made accommodations. But it's not hard to see why, because everything is crowded here, and who it's crowded with are all people who look like they're from the islands. And your friend Tomas, who you made earlier, is actually at the tavern, basically, as you walk in, the barkeep is saying like, "Okay, you've had enough ale for tonight. Go find somewhere to sleep it off." And he's arguing, I'm Count Renault of the Renault estate. You will serve me another ale. And you can see he has a couple of friends with him who are trying to shepherd him away from the bar without much success.
Ramesh is just walk up and put his hand on the man's shoulder and be like, ale or sleep?
So Tomas is going to turn around and kind of look at your big hand on his shoulder and just drunkenly like, I just want more ale. More ale.
You seem like you need sleep. There was one time I drank a lot of ale. I don't remember what happened, but little mama told me I broke a lot of windows. Don't break windows, my friend. I think you're my friend.
While he's doing that, I try to get Athel's attention, and I just look at him. Just this like blank stare. Not even at him, just really past him.
Mm-hmm.
And just tired. Tired now.
Grommish, make an athletics check. This guy's trying to wriggle out of your grip.
Will do. That would be a 13.
All right, so he does manage to slip away from you, and he kind of stumbles to the floor.
Ah, you fell, little man.
Apple is just going to move over and try to, like, generally just calm the guy down and be like, look, you don't want to spend all your money in one place, you know?
So go ahead and make a persuasion check.
All right. That is a 23.
23. So he's going to sort of look at you with these bleary eyes and go, this halfling is talking a lot of good sense. I really should just find somewhere to go to sleep.
Yes, don't break windows. Yes.
As he goes to walk out of the tavern, he walks directly into the door frame before he manages to like reassess his position and walk back out. And his friend who was with him is going to say, I'm going to go take care of him, but thank you very much. He's always been kind of like this, but it's not that bad. Have a great night.
Remember, buddy, bring him bucket. He'll make him happy.
All right. So we're going to be winding down the session shortly here, but is there any... the tavern is full of people. You do have your rooms and accommodations have already been set for you. Are you going to try to make any inquiries while you're here, or are you just going to bed for the night? What do you all want to do?
Jane is going to look at... She's going to pat Gromish's head and be like, hey, you know what I'm thinking? I bet you cannot outdrink me.
What? We've tried this many times, little mama. You've lost every time. Barkeep! Drinks, please. I hear that's a good nice thing to say. For buddy, do you drink or bed?
Bed.
Alright. For buddy, bed. You follow instruction. The Grommish sets down. Drinking time. He's gonna look at the goblin, Athol, and be like, Do you drink?
I've never tried it before, but what could
You should
possibly
drink,
go wrong?
buddy. Come on and sit down. You can learn from the best. Me and little mama, we've been drinking since, Eli starts counting his fingers. One. Since we met. One ago. It makes good times. Unless you break windows. They were very angry about breaking. Don't break windows.
Yeah,
And-
don't break windows.
He puts his bucket next to him on like a chair next to him. We have Bucket! Bucket's best friend. Come and join. Drink my goblin friend.
Okay, real quick, my character's also going to preemptively cast Goodberry when this inevitably goes terribly wrong.
What does Goodberry do again?
For the next 24 hours, 10 berries appear in my hand, and when eaten, they restore a hit point. And, well, generally nourish a creature, but just in case someone takes damage or something while drunk, feels very likely between this group of people. Yeah.
So the bartender is going to look at Renegar as Renegar is making his way up to his room, and he's going to say, I envy you. I prophesy a very long night. Could the other three please all make Constitution saving throws?
Indeed, I will. That would be a 17 from me.
Okay.
That would be a 2 minus 1.
Mine would be a 14. I'm trying really hard to keep up with Gromish.
All right. So, Athel, basically, after the day you've had, you basically make it about halfway through your first ale, and you just pass out on the bar. You're not necessarily, like, super drunk. It's just a little bit of alcohol when you were already tired. You're done for the night. And I'm going to say that Gromish and Jane enjoy many rounds of cups. You are relatively well known here. People know about you fighting the pirates, and so several people do come around and buy you guys drinks.
Gromish
Jane,
will drink every single one that he's offered.
Jane, you have relatively high passive perception. You are going to notice that while most of the people here are thrilled about you, you are catching the odd occasional dirty look. And you're not, and the only difference, the only thing that separates the people who are buying you drinks from the people who are giving you dirty looks is the ones who give you dirty looks are dressed more like peasants. The ones who are buying you drinks are people who appear to be dressed more, a lot of their clothing is damaged or tattered, but it is the clothing of nobility. And I'm going to say that after a long night, Jane is going to have had enough. And with one of his tiny friends under each arm, Gromish is going to make his way up to the rooms, and you all are going to go to bed. Next time we meet, you'll have had the benefit of a long rest. Next time we meet, you will also be level 4.
Ah, sweet.
Ooh.
Excited. All right. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed that very chaotic but very fun episode. Enjoyed seeing our absolute insanities. We are going to be seeing each other again next week, Wednesday, which will be the 29th at 4:30 p.m. PST. So if you guys want to tune into that, we go live every week on Wednesdays. If you guys want to see some of our other stuff, we have a homebrewed campaign on Monday, 7 p.m. PST, and a 5e campaign that I DM on Fridays at 7 p.m. PST. And then we have various other streams, so if you guys want to see which ones those are, which games we're playing, and so on and so forth, feel free to follow that socials and go check out our Google Sites. That's going to give you all the information that you guys need to know, as well as providing links to some of my stories, as well as the games that we're playing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see all of you fine folks on the next episode. Bye!
Bye.
All right.
But
Bye.